The key to feeling like a helldiver rather than a grunt is building good loadouts.
What primary would y'all bring, like if you were a quick play player?
Explosive crossbow.
I will kick you out of this Game Destroyer.
When your weapons work in concert with each other and cover each other's weaknesses, you unlock enough power and flexibility to bring worlds to their knees. My name is Commissar Kai, and today I'm going to show y'all how to build loadouts like an expert. I felt compelled to make this video for two reasons. One is that thermites and the insecurity blanket are picked far too often for the amount of utility they provide. These weapons are meant to give you an answer for armor, but I don't think y'all realize how often you toss out a thermite only to have something else blow up whatever your miniature sun's stuck to. Same goes for the Quasar. You'll charge up your shot with your virgin cannon only to have the Chad recoilless rifle take your target's head off instead. These weapons do have a place. They are good in solo play or for people who like wild weaseling out on the map. They're also great if you have a severe lack of AT in your kit, but if you're taking them because you are scared of armored threats, you are just making yourself weaker. The second reason I wanted to teach y'all how to build loadouts is twofold. I think a lot of helldivers are handicapping themselves by neglecting synergies within their kits, or by bringing things that make them feel more secure without actually helping for 80% of the mission. But I also just want y'all to have fun. It breaks my heart to hear that helldivers feel weak, since I know how much power some of y'all are missing out on. A group of 4 helldivers working together can make literally anything work.
Y'all are,
That was very much needed.
welcome.
y'all are too good at the team play.
Oh my goodness.
This is not how this was supposed to go.
You can run all constitutions on a level 10 and full clear the map if you're indulging in just the barest minimum of team play. But the less you coordinate with your team, the more you need to rely on a well-coordinated loadout. You can feel any fantasy you might have if you just know what you're doing in the weapon selection screen. So today, let's bring down the absurd pick rates of thermites, the Quasar, and the Coyote by learning to take any primary or support weapon and become a real menace to the enemies of humanity through the power of synergies. The first thing you need to know when it comes to building a good loadout is how to divide your kit amongst all the potential threats. There are 3 types of threats in Helldivers: chaff, elite enemies, and heavies. Chaff units have no armor or light armor, but they do have numbers. These ankle biters and communist initiates die quickly to pretty much anything, but they can still be deadly if left unattended. They're also usually responsible for calling in enemy reinforcements. Elite enemies are categorized by their medium armor, durability, or sporting a larger than average health pool. Things like Devastators of all flavors and Rocket Striders, Hive Guard and Alpha Commanders, and Flesh Mobs and Overseers are the elites of each faction. They are all dangerous, but some are dangerous because they will retire you in a hurry, while others are a threat because they present an obstacle to your liberation efforts. Finally, you have heavy enemies. These can be anything from a charger to a factory strider, but they are characterized by their heavy armor and ability to send you to the wall of martyrs faster than you can say grunt fantasy. Every weapon in the game is going to specialize in one of these 3 categories. Some, like my PP, are equally good at dealing with 2 out of the 3, but no stratagem, weapon, or grenade is good against all 3. Building a good loadout means properly weighting your kit towards one category while still having a couple of answers for the others. I want y'all to imagine a gas tank that needs to be filled with liberation, but if you mix it wrong, it'll blow up in your face. To fill your gas tank without exploding, you need to use the proper mixture of crayons. You have green for chaff, blue for elites, and red for heavies. One of your flavors of crayon needs to be dominant, otherwise you'll choke on the toxic gas that is the meta. But if one flavor is too dominant, your tank will explode and turn you into a voteless. Likewise, if you neglect a flavor of crayon entirely in favor of others, your mixture will be deemed inadequate and you'll be sent to a freedom camp. So pick your favorite flavor, fill your tank halfway up, and give the remaining 50% to your second and third favorite flavors. But there are 3 more things you'll need to consider before you start crafting your loadout, and that's base destruction, keeping yourself breathing, and what range you want to fight at. Everyone has to have the ability to close spawners. Otherwise, you can get stuck in some really awkward situations. But compared to picking a favorite flavor of crayon, this is an easy problem to solve. Every single weapon and stratagem slot has options for closing spawners. Eagles, most grenades, the eruptor and the new 1-2, plus the grenade pistol and ultimatum can all do the job. Just make sure that you have something for this sacred duty of democracy. When it comes to keeping yourself alive, this is usually going to be done with your armor set. But if you pick the lightest armor for maximum breathability, you you might want to consider bringing a grenade or a backpack to make sure you can stay alive just a little bit longer. Or you can just rely on your elite gamer skills. But even the best of us occasionally step on a mine. The last thing you'll need to consider when building a loadout is what range you want to play at. This sounds like a minor detail, but it can be the thing that makes or breaks your loadout. You can have the perfect mixture and the most powerful weapons, but if you play at the wrong range for your kit, you will have your ass ruthlessly beat by the enemy. You can choose to focus on long, medium, or short range against any faction, but some are more conducive to certain ranges. The Illuminate tend to be handled best at short range, bugs at medium, and bots at long range. But these are not hard rules. You can fight any faction at any range with the right setup. Okay, I think y'all are ready to start building some loadouts. The first step is picking a weapon you want to use. To make this easier, I'm going to walk y'all through a journey of mine where I build a loadout based around the airburst launcher against the bots, specifically the incineration core, because I like this weapon and I do not use it enough. I started off by grabbing the Suicide Squad stick and bringing the most meta weapons and stratagems that I could think of. I brought the Coyote, the Ultimatum, thermite grenades, and I wore siege-ready armor. For my stratagems, I put myself in the mind of a quick-play Helldiver and picked the 500 kg, Matilda, and the orbital laser.
Hang on, I am a quick play player. 500 out.
This setup did not feel great. I kept getting blasted by these cookout-wielding assholes, and I had no way to really interrupt that process, especially at close range. My thermites kept being useless because my teammates with AT would kill whatever I stuck before the grenade went off, and I only really used the ultimatum a few times because I lacked a supply pack. The issue was I had nothing to keep me safe at close range, but my AT solutions needed me to be close to my targets in order to deal with them. I do not want to be close to my targets when I'm trying to use the airburst launcher, and this disconnect is what made this game pretty painful.
Yeah, dude, I feel my stratagems being useless. These are bad for this setup.
Oh no!
Even though I was kitted out with some of the best stratagems, a top tier primary, and the best grenade in the game, I still struggled because I was not leaning into my blue crayons enough. The Coyote is great, but when your enemy can murder you in less than a second, that flame effect becomes kinda useless unless you have enough distance to let them cook. Thermites are wonderful for taking on armor, but because I needed to get close enough to stick them, I was taking a lot of risk for very little reward.
Hey, that's a really good example of why thermites aren't very good.
And I didn't get to use my airburst as much as I wanted. I would show y'all the scoreboard here to set up a baseline so we could see if optimizing my loadout would actually make a tangible difference. But unforeseen circumstances prevented that from happening. Arrowhead, you've been doing a good job with those stability patches.
There you go. Whoa, no! Damn it, Eagles! Oh, I think I just
Fucking
crashed.
DSS, man.
I just crashed.
Keep it up. This takes us to game 2. I swapped out the ultimatum because I knew I didn't want to focus on my red crayons, and I took the senator instead to help me out with the blues. I kept thermites because I knew this was going to be a war strider seed, and I got scared. Even I am susceptible to fear sometimes, so I don't blame y'all for doing it either. But the issue of needing to get close enough to them for my thermites to be effective was still there. I just hadn't realized it yet. I swapped the Coyote for the Halt, thinking the stun rounds and medium pin flechettes would keep me safe at closer ranges, and I dropped the orbital laser, 500 kg, and Matilda for the gaming chair, Eagle Strafe and Run, and the 120 barrage. The logic was that I wanted to be at long range to keep firing off my airburst, so taking the gaming chair would give me all the AT I needed. Strafe and Runs would help me clear the field and deal with bases, and the 120 was just something I could chuck at bot drops. I also brought heavy fire resistant armor to keep me from being turned into Campbell's soup. Hey, the meat's gotta come from somewhere. But I did not fix the core issue, and this led to a painful game.
Have it reminded.
Oh, well, I got the jammer.
More than gas mines.
Oh, I exploded. Don't know why. Oh, come on. Let me switch my mode, please.
No!
Oh, I died to the explosion. I wasn't respecting it. Yeah, I'm already dead.
I have not had my ass beat that hard in a long time. The bots bent me over and used my backside like a drum, and this happened for predictable reasons. My heavy armor that I thought would keep me safe instead made me fat and slow, keeping me at a much closer range than I would have liked. And it did nothing to prevent my chicken noodleification. My gaming chair kept getting destroyed because I had nothing to protect it, my halt was struggling to keep the devastators off me because the range was too short, and my strafing runs and orbital barrages were overlapping too hard with the air burst. My Crayon mixture was good, but the range it was forcing me to play at did not cater to the weapon I was trying to build around. That said, I did learn some valuable lessons here. Thermites were useless with how I was trying to play.
Oh,
By the objective.
Worst Rider.
I wonder if I can knife him.
That was a good thermite.
I needed to be lighter and faster to get away from threats, but tanky enough to not get blown into pieces. And I needed something to protect me. But the main takeaway from this ass beating was that I needed to lean hard into the ranged game. I can blow up whole packs of blues with my air burst, so I don't really need my stratagems to perform that role. Instead, I needed a primary that could keep the elites away from me, especially at close range, and I needed my stratagems to deal with the occasional red. This leads us to our third and final game, where everything finally came together, and I got to return the ass beating I was just handed with a well thought out and battle tested loadout. For this one, we were still up against war striders, but I ditched the thermites anyway. Trying to use them kept getting me killed, so I swapped them out for dynamites. Dynamites are great for taking out lone reds and chucking at bases without needing to score the 3-pointer.
Wait, can you kill these with dynamites? I'm gonna try.
Yes, definitely. It deals 10 trillion damage.
Well, he is very dead.
I kept my gaming chair, but I added Randy. The biggest issue with sitting back and nailing heavies from range is that they tend to shoot back at you. So Randy helped a ton by adding his substantial firepower, while also being a valuable distraction for my 75mm home defense system. This combo meant from long range, I could easily handle any threat, no matter the strength or the number. I was even able to take out a few bases from the comfort of my porch.
There's a.
I see the cannon tower, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, got it in one hit. 500 meters away, let's go.
Hell yeah.
I also brought along the Orbital Precision Strike. Even though this is the first stratagem you get as a wee cadet, it remains a powerful tool for dealing with heavy armor, and it's on a low cooldown. But the real key to this perfect mixture was whipping out my PP.
He's pulling his out!
I didn't want to reach for it since I just did a video on it, and my wife will make me sleep in the bee shed if I make too many PP jokes. But it fit too perfectly for what I was trying to do. The reason being, this weapon is the best we have for keeping things at a distance, even more so than the Eruptor or the explosive garbage bow. The Plasma Punisher can stun lock groups of greens or blues from a distance, while still being lethal enough to get the job done. Even just dicking around with people from my Discord, oh sweet liberty, I can't stop, and talking about Warhammer.
Have you listened to or read the Commissar Kane novels?
That's where my name comes from.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'm a
it's
scientist.
Kane.
Yeah.
Caiaphas Cain is like my spirit animal. You know, just tripping
Oh,
into success
100%.
over and over again while pretending to put on a brave face. That's me.
I was able to post a nearly 500 kill game on a War Strider seed against the Incineration Core with the Air Burst Launcher. It sounds like a game of Clue. My kit and myself had been molded by combat into the perfect democracy spreading tool. And it all started with me going, I want to use the Air Burst Launcher against bots. If you apply my patented Crayon-based system and pay attention to what feels good and bad in your kit, you can take any primary or support weapon and mold it into a top-tier loadout, unless it's the pacifier. In that case, liberty be with you. But anything else can be made into a top-tier loadout just by thinking about your mixture, what range you want to play at, and how you want to approach your team. This kind of thinking and experimenting is how we break out of stale metas and empower ourselves to have fun. But you do have to take that first step and let go of your fears and be willing to refine something new. But until next time, this is Thomas Arai signing out.
Oh, this is gonna suck.
Here it comes, here it comes.
This is gonna suck. Move, Jack. Oh, I got him. God damn it.